The gray morning light slipped through the blinds of Ryan Cole's small Brooklyn apartment, washing over a counter cluttered with unpaid bills and art supplies. Steam curled up from his chipped coffee mug as he stood by the window, staring out at the city that never slowed down. Not for him, not for anyone. 2 years had passed since his husband, Daniel, was gone. The Hudson River had swallowed his grief, but never his loneliness. Now it was just him and his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, whose laughter filled the silence Daniel once had. "Daddy, where's my pink headband?" she asked, running into the kitchen with her curls bouncing. Ryan smiled softly, brushing a smudge of paint from her cheek. "Probably hiding from your messy hair." Her giggle cut through the heaviness in his chest. He packed her lunch, a peanut butter sandwich, apple slices, and a note with a heart. Little things that helped her feel safe, even when the world felt fragile. But the bills on the counter whispered a truth he couldn't ignore. Rent overdue, school tuition, health insurance. His small freelance design jobs barely kept them above water. That afternoon, while waiting outside Lily's school, his phone buzzed. "Mr. Cole? This is Jenna from the Midtown Arts Foundation. We're looking for a last-minute replacement designer for the Tech for Tomorrow charity gala. You come? Highly recommended by..." "By who?" "By Marcus, your daughter's art teacher." Ryan blinked. Marcus had always been kind, always seemed to notice when Ryan struggled. "I'll take it," Ryan said before he could overthink. That job could pay their rent for a month. The Manhattan Civic Center shimmered that night, under hundreds of lights, transformed into a dreamscape of glass and greenery. Ryan adjusted the final centerpiece on a crystal table, his hands steady despite the exhaustion. He didn't belong among Manhattan's tech elite. His worn jeans and rolled-up sleeves said as much. But his work did. Across the room, Adrian, Blake, CEO of Blake Dynamics, a rising star in the tech world, was trying to breathe. His company's upcoming IPO would define his legacy. But tonight, he wasn't thinking about algorithms or numbers. He was thinking about the lie that had gotten out of hand. Months ago, in a board meeting filled with old money investors, he'd mentioned having a steady partner to appear stable. The fabricated boyfriend had since become an unshakable rumor, and tonight, investors were eager to meet this mystery man. "Sir," whispered his assistant Mia, "your father just arrived, and Ms. Vincent's already telling the board your partner's running late." Adrian's jaw clenched. Ms. Vincent, his ambitious COO, had been circling his position like a hawk, and his father, a retired CEO who valued appearances over authenticity, was watching every move. He needed someone. Anyone. That's when he saw Ryan. The designer was on a call, his voice low but warm. "I'll be home soon, Lily. Daddy just has to finish up so we can get those new shoes, remember?" Something in that moment, in Ryan's tenderness, cut through Adrian's panic. He walked straight toward him. "Your arrangements are stunning," Adrian said. Ryan looked up, startled. "Thank you. Just trying to make it look like a dream." "It is," Adrian murmured. Then, lowering his voice, "Can I ask you something unusual?" Ryan frowned. "Define unusual." Adrian hesitated. "I need you to pretend to be my partner. Just for tonight." Ryan blinked. "You can't be serious." "I'll pay you $10,000. Ryan's laugh died on his lips. $10,000 could change everything, but he stared at Adrian, at his suit, his confidence, and shook his head. "You don't even know me. You don't need to. Just stand beside me, smile, don't overthink it." Adrian's tone softened. "Please. My career's on the line." Ryan's phone vibrated again, an email from Lily's school about increased tuition. Fate had a cruel sense of timing. He closed his eyes, exhaled. "Fine," he said quietly, "but this stays between us." In a private lounge, a stylist transformed Ryan into someone he barely recognized. Navy suit, sleek hair, the scent of cedar and confidence. "Not bad," Adrian said when he walked in. "Now we need a backstory, how we met, how long we've been together." 8 months, Ryan said quickly. "We met at a museum fundraiser. I was designing the venue." Adrian smiled. "You're a natural." As the ballroom filled with New York's elite, they stepped into their roles. Adrian's hand brushed the small of Ryan's back, gentle, grounding. Their chemistry wasn't rehearsed, and that scared them both. The night unfolded in flashes of laughter, champagne, and whispered improvisations. Investors loved Ryan's passion for design. Some even asked for his card. Then Adrian's father arrived. "So this is the artist," he said coldly. "Didn't realize you had time for personal hobbies during an IPO." Before Adrian could reply, Evelyn Vincent, the sharp-eyed COO, joined the circle, her smile polite but cutting. "How lovely. You're certainly not what I expected, Mr. Cole." Ryan met her gaze evenly. "I get that a lot." Halfway through dinner, Ryan slipped away to clear his head, and overheard voices down a hallway. Evelyn was paying someone for information, muttering about evidence and timing. When Ryan returned, Adrian was gone. Soon, whispers spread. In a side room, Ryan overheard raised voices. Evelyn accusing Adrian of lying about his relationship, threatening to expose him to the board. Adrian's cool, professional tone barely masked his frustration, and then Ryan heard something else. Talk of cutting 200 jobs to streamline operations. Adrian didn't object. The man who'd seemed so sincere now sounded like every corporate shark Ryan had ever distrusted. When Adrian returned to the ballroom, Ryan was gone, leaving only his business card with a note. "Some lies cost too much. Keep your money." 3 days later, a knock echoed at Ryan's apartment door. He opened it to find Adrian, no suit, no pretense, holding a small bag. "How did you find me?" Ryan asked. "Your business card," Adrian said quietly. "Please, can I come in?" Lily peeked from the hallway, clutching her stuffed penguin. "Daddy, who's that?" Adrian smiled softly. "I'm a friend of your dad's. Is that Percy the penguin?" Her eyes widened. "You know Percy? I had one just like him when I was your age." Ryan watched, surprised, as Lily giggled and showed Adrian her drawings. He'd never seen this side of him. Gentle, patient, real. When she went to bed, Ryan faced him. "You didn't come here just to talk about penguins." "No," Adrian admitted. "You overheard part of that meeting. Those layoffs. That's Evelyn's plan, not mine. The board hasn't decided. And you didn't stop it," Ryan said quietly. Adrian looked down. "You're right. I should have. I lost sight of why I started any of this." He hesitated. "I want to make things right. For you. For your daughter. My foundation funds school technology programs. Lily's could qualify." Ryan frowned. "You'd do that?" "I'd do it because she reminds me what matters. And because I owe you the truth." That night marked the start of something new. Fragile, cautious, but real. Adrian began spending weekends with Ryan and Lily, rediscovering simplicity. Trips to playgrounds replaced board meetings. Coding lessons turned into laughter and spilled hot cocoa. Then came the Pride Parade. Adrian, Ryan, and Lily marched together, waving flags. For the first time, Adrian stopped hiding. The next day, headlines exploded. Blake's boyfriend. The convenient relationship before IPO. The tabloids twisted their story, dredging up Daniel's death and painting Ryan as an opportunist. Clients canceled contracts. Lily faced cruel whispers at school. Adrian's board demanded damage control, and his father insisted he deny everything. That night, Adrian appeared at Ryan's door, eyes tired but clear. "They want me to call it a mistake," he said softly. "To say you were never real." Ryan's voice cracked. "Maybe they're right. You and me. We live in different worlds." Adrian reached for his hand. "Different worlds, yes, but you're the only one that feels like home." At the emergency board meeting, silence filled the air as Adrian entered. Alone. Evelyn looked smug, ready to pounce. Before anyone spoke, Adrian placed a folder on the table. "Before we address the rumors," he said calmly, "I'd like to present the new headquarters redesign." The doors opened, and Ryan walked in. The room fell silent. He connected his tablet to the screen, revealing a design that reflected humanity, not hierarchy, open spaces, childcare areas, wellness corners. "This company began with the belief that technology should serve people," Ryan said. "It's time your space reflected that." Adrian continued, his confidence returning. "We don't need layoffs to grow. We need to invest in the people who build our future." For the first time, his father looked at him with something close to pride. "Your mother would have said the same," he murmured. Evelyn's smirk faded as the board voted, unanimously, in Adrian's favor. After the meeting, Adrian's father shook Ryan's hand. "Welcome to the family, in whatever way that becomes official." A year later, New York's Pride Parade looked different. Blake Dynamics marched under a banner reading, "Innovation with Heart." Adrian, Ryan, and Lily walked together, the skyline gleaming behind them. That evening, they visited the Hudson, where Daniel's memorial plaque sat beneath a blooming cherry tree. Lily placed flowers beside it, Hi, Daddy, she whispered. We're okay now. Adrian took Ryan's hand, producing a simple platinum band. Our beginning was chaos, he said softly, but I can't imagine my life any other way. Will you keep walking beside me? Ryan smiled through tears. Always. Lily threw her arms around them both, giggling. As the city lights shimmered over the river, Ryan realized that love, the real kind, doesn't arrive perfectly wrapped. It shows up messy, unexpected, and worth everything.